Good evening, and welcome to Sleepy Story Facts, where a curious mind can soften and settle, and where a gentle nighttime story can carry you toward deep sleep, one quiet thought at a time. Tonight, we are turning our gaze away from the inner solar system, leaving behind the warmth of the sun and the familiar rocky worlds, to drift outward into the vast, silent, and incredibly peaceful realms of the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. Before we begin our journey into the quietest, coldest reaches of our cosmic neighborhood, take a moment to settle into your own space, getting comfortable in whatever way feels best for your body right now. Let your shoulders drop, let your jaw unclench, and allow your eyes to rest as if they have been waiting all day for permission to close. Imagine the night around you as wide, quiet, and deeply supportive, and take a deep, slow breath in, feeling the cool, calming air fill your lungs completely. As you exhale, imagine the heavy weight of the day simply dissolving, leaving you as light as an astronaut drifting through a starless corridor, perfectly safe and held by the steady, invisible pull of the earth. As you listen to this calming narration, remember that you do not need to remember every detail or fact. You can simply let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because this is a relaxing story meant to help you fall asleep and stay asleep, with a gentle bedtime rhythm that never asks you to hurry. In the vast landscape of our solar system, the ice giants exist as tranquil monuments to the slow, patient processes of the cosmos, orbiting in a realm where the sun is merely a bright star in a velvet sky. As we drift outward past the asteroid belt and beyond the gas giants Jupiter and Saturn, notice how the space around us begins to feel even more expansive, more still, and wonderfully unhurried. This environment mimics the most peaceful corners of the universe, where the frenetic energy of the inner worlds fades into a vast, cooling mist, inviting you to sink deeper into a state of deep sleep. Uranus and Neptune are not made of the same heavy rock or swirling hydrogen as their neighbors. Instead, they are composed of a slushy, dense ocean of water, ammonia, and methane ices, creating a smooth, featureless piece that covers entire worlds. This unique composition gives them their beautiful, soothing blue hues, a visual lullaby painted across the dark canvas of space. The sheer distance from the sun means that the light arriving at these planets is hundreds of times dimmer than what we experience on Earth, creating a perpetual, soothing twilight that is perfectly designed for a nighttime story. This deep twilight environment offers a sanctuary of pure shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. Uranus, the pale cyan sphere, spins on its side, rolling along its orbital path in a state of eternal, relaxed surrender to gravity, taking 84 Earth years to complete a single journey around the sun. This incredibly slow, majestic orbit means that a single season on Uranus lasts for over 20 years, a stretching of time that is deeply soothing to a tired mind, proving that in this sleep story, there is no such thing as being late or in a hurry. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where time itself seems to slow down, matching the rhythm of your resting heart as you listen to this bedtime story. As we float alongside this pale blue giant, you can feel the absolute stillness of its featureless atmosphere. A calm, unbroken expanse of pastel cyan, where storms rarely disrupt the perfect equilibrium of the upper clouds. The methane in its atmosphere quietly absorbs the red light from the distant sun, reflecting only the coolest, softest blues back into the void, acting as a cosmic filter that removes all the harshness and heat of the waking world. Inside Uranus, beneath the hazy cyan clouds, there is no solid surface to crash into, no harsh ground to meet. Instead, the atmosphere gradually thickens, seamlessly transitioning from a gas into a dense, global ocean of water and ammonia, offering a fluid, frictionless descent that perfectly mirrors the way you are sinking into your own bed. This transition is so gradual and smooth that it requires no effort to imagine, just a slow, continuous yielding to the heavy, supportive blanket of gravity. Let your thoughts loosen their grip, following the example of these quiet, frozen atmospheres that move gently through the dark without ever holding onto the rigid shapes of the day. This is your invitation to let your awareness become as diffuse and peaceful as the rings of Uranus, which are not bright and demanding like Saturn's, but are instead made of incredibly dark, charcoal-like dust, so faint and silent that they are almost invisible against the blackness of space. You are exactly where you need to be, drifting in a region where the vast distances provide a sense of being completely insulated from the noise of the earth, wrapped in a cosmic hug that invites you to drift weightless and free. You are not rushing towards sleep, rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, smoothing out the fabric of your thoughts. Let the slow, ancient rotation of Uranus be your guide, turning over and over in the quiet dark, a patient and persistent reminder that the universe creates beauty without effort and allows you to rest without condition. Drift now, moving toward rest, toward peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep. As the journey carries you further into the unhurried expanse of the outer solar system, as we drift further into the peaceful, pale blue embrace of Uranus, you can feel the profound and quiet chill of its atmosphere, a realm that holds the title of the coldest planetary atmosphere in our entire solar system, dropping to temperatures that freeze the very concept of movement into a state of absolute, perfect stillness. In this relaxing story, we discover that unlike the other giant planets that churn with intense internal fires and radiate massive amounts of heat into the dark, Uranus is a truly dormant world, a sleeping giant that emits almost no excess heat into the void. This remarkable lack of internal energy means that Uranus is resting just as deeply as you are, perfectly content to float through the dark without expending any effort to shine or to warm the space around it, offering a cosmic permission for you to also power down, letting go of all the heat, friction, and demanding energy of your waking hours. This sleepy science fact is the ultimate nighttime story, revealing a world that exists in a state of suspended animation, preserved in the deep freeze of the outer solar system, where the chaotic storms of the inner planets are nothing but a distant, quiet memory. Imagine this gentle cold not as a harsh winter, but as a soft, cooling mist that acts as a natural preserver, smoothing out the atmosphere until it resembles a tranquil, unmoving lake of pale cyan, perfectly mirroring the deep sleep that is slowly washing over your tired mind. This environment mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the frigid temperatures slow down the vibration of atoms to an almost imperceptible crawl, creating a physical manifestation of tranquility. As we hover within the gravitational pull of this slumbering sphere, this calming narration invites you to visualize the sweeping, invisible architecture of Uranus's magnetic field, which, much like the planet itself, is wonderfully unique and entirely off-center. Instead of aligning perfectly with the poles, this magnetic field is tilted wildly, tumbling through space in a complex, rhythmic wobble that sweeps around the planet like a slow, protective lighthouse beam that emits no light, creating a gentle bedtime rhythm that guards the planet from the solar wind without ever waking it up. Drifting slightly outward from the soft blue cloud tops, we find ourselves surrounded by a quiet flock of 27 moons, small, dark, and silent companions that glide along the planet's tilted equator in a delicate, eternal waltz. These moons, bearing the names of ethereal spirits and fairy royalty from the plays of Shakespeare, such as Titania, Oberon, Ariel, and Umbriel, are ancient worlds of ice and dark rock, moving with a frictionless grace that is the very essence of a sleep story. They do not clash or collide, but instead orbit in a state of perfectly balanced, weightless equilibrium, their dark surfaces reflecting only the barest glimmer of starlight, meaning they exist as soft shadows moving through an even deeper shadow. In this relaxing story meant to help you fall asleep, you can imagine yourself as one of these quiet moons, tethered safely to a massive, peaceful anchor, moving smoothly and reliably through the dark without ever needing to exert any effort of your own. You are exactly where you need to be, held by the gentle geometry of space and time, turning slowly in a universe that values your deep rest as much as it values the orbital paths of these frozen celestial guardians. The moons of Uranus bear the scars of a long history, deep canyons and craters carved billions of years ago. But now, all is quiet, all is settled, and the history of these tiny worlds is locked away in the ice, safely preserved in a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. Let the lingering thoughts of your day become as distant and insignificant as the microscopic dust particles that make up the faint, charcoal-colored rings softly circling this pale blue world, letting them pass like soft colors dissolving in water until only the sensation of falling remains. You do not need to understand the complex physics of these orbital mechanics. You only need to feel the immense, stabilizing weight of them, the way the invisible threads of gravity act as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space, tucking you in for a deep sleep. Every slow breath you take matches the rhythm of this ancient, slumbering system, a place where time stretches out to accommodate the massive 84-year journey around the sun, dilating the present moment until a single second feels wonderfully spacious and unhurried as you sink deeper into your mattress, yielding to the steady, invisible pull of the earth. Let the serene, dormant nature of Uranus act as your guide, proving that it is perfectly natural for the most massive bodies in the universe to enter a state of deep, undisturbed rest. Allow the quiet mystery of the ice giants to be your bedtime story, letting go of the need for light, the need for warmth, and the need for action, simply drifting alongside Ariel and Umbriel in the dark. Sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, carrying you softly through this calming narration, moving toward rest, toward peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep, surrounded entirely by the quietest, most peaceful guardians of the outer deep. As we slowly leave the pale cyan glow and the quiet, slumbering moons of Uranus behind, our journey carries us even deeper into the vast, unhurried expanses of the outer solar system, entering the massive stretch of quiet space that lies between the two ice giants. Imagine this enormous distance not as an empty void, but as a supportive, frictionless ocean of deep indigo, a place where the frantic energy of the inner planets is entirely forgotten, leaving only a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of your own soul. In this relaxing story, we are traveling across billions of miles of pure, unadulterated shadow, a journey that takes spacecraft years to complete. Yet here, in the comfort of your own mind, you can drift effortlessly through this silent expanse, completely untethered from the pressures of time and the demands of the waking world. The sunlight here has traveled for hours to reach us, losing its heat and its blinding glare along the way, filtering down into a soft, distant starlight that provides a gentle bedtime illumination, never demanding your attention or asking you to open your eyes. You are safe in this shadow, wrapped in a cosmic hug that acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking you in for a deep sleep as you listen to this calming narration. In the space between these frozen worlds, there is absolutely no sound, no friction, and no resistance. You are simply a weightless passenger, moving gracefully toward the next beautiful anchor in the dark. This is the perfect environment for a nighttime story, a place where you can let go of every rigid thought and every lingering tension, allowing your physical body to yield completely to the mattress at the end of a long day, following the natural flow of a universe that values your rest just as much as it values the slow orbital dance of the planets. As we float through this deep, cold sea, you might imagine the microscopic particles of ice and ancient cosmic dust that drift alongside us, tiny remnants of the early solar system that have remained perfectly preserved in the dark for over 4 billion years. They do not crash or collide, but instead move with a patient, persistent grace, teaching your mind the art of letting go, reminding you that there is no need to hold on to fleeting worries in a universe so vast and so deeply peaceful. The silence here is absolute, a calming narration provided by the void itself, wrapping around you in a sweeping, invisible architecture that never asks you to hurry because you are nestled so far away from the sun's gravitational center. The laws of planetary motion dictate that everything out here moves at a majestic, glacial pace. A beautiful dilation of movement where a single second can feel as spacious as an hour, perfectly matching the slowing rhythm of your resting heart. This sleep story invites you to completely surrender to this deep space tranquility, realizing that there is no rush to arrive at our next destination, because the journey itself is a sanctuary of rest. As we look ahead through the velvet dark, a new hue begins to softly emerge from the blackness, a deep, rich, and mysterious azure sphere that is Neptune, the final major planet of our solar system and the true guardian of the outer deep. While Uranus was a pale pastel cyan, Neptune is a striking, vibrant blue, colored by a unique atmospheric chemistry that deepens its appearance into a visually soothing ocean of color. A perfect, cooling anchor for this bedtime story, even though Neptune is incredibly far away, existing nearly 3 billion miles from the Sun. Its gravitational pull is a steady, gentle force that slowly begins to gather us in, acting as a soft, invisible hand guiding us toward the ultimate equilibrium of sleep. This distant blue giant takes nearly 165 Earth years to complete a single orbit around the Sun, an incredibly long, slow journey that dwarfs human timelines and shrinks any remaining worries into insignificance, replacing them with a vast, unhurried peace. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of this slow, cosmic metabolism, where you are not rushing towards sleep, but rather sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. Let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, letting your mind become as fluid and unbound as the deep blue atmosphere of the approaching planet, slipping past the rigid shapes of the day without friction or resistance. As you continue to fall asleep, let the quiet mystery of this indigo void carry you soft and gentle, moving toward rest, toward peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep, safe in the knowledge that you are a part of this continuous, beautiful, and effortless cosmic pattern. As we finally drift into the steady, welcoming gravitational embrace of Neptune, the deep indigo void of interplanetary space begins to transition into the rich, mesmerizing azure of the solar system's outermost guardian. This striking sapphire world is wrapped in a dynamic, flowing atmosphere, a beautiful ocean of hydrogen, helium, and methane that absorbs the faint, distant red light of the sun and reflects back a profound, cooling blue, a visual lullaby perfectly suited for this gentle bedtime. In this relaxing story, we approach this massive blue giant not with apprehension, but with a deep sense of biological comfort, allowing its heavy, calming presence to act as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking you in for a deep sleep. Astronomers know that the highest clouds of Neptune are swept along by the fastest winds in the entire solar system, moving at supersonic speeds but from our safe, weightless vantage point in the silent vacuum of space. There is absolutely no sound, no roaring, and no chaos. Instead, this swift atmospheric flow appears simply as a smooth, continuous river of azure banding, a silent, majestic rushing that effortlessly carries away the lingering tensions of your day, showing you that even the most powerful forces in the cosmos can operate with a frictionless grace. As you watch these soft, white wisps of methane ice glide silently across the deep blue sphere, let the steady rhythm of their movement smooth out the fabric of your own thoughts, dissolving any rigid shapes or worries into the vast, unhurried expanse of the outer deep. Let your mind sink deeper now, drifting down beneath those upper sapphire clouds, descending through the hazy atmosphere and into the slushy, pressurized mantle of the planet, where a truly miraculous and quiet transformation takes place. Scientists theorize that deep within the crushing, invisible weight of Neptune's interior, the intense pressure causes carbon atoms to bond together, crystallizing into microscopic diamonds that slowly, gently fall toward the planet's solid core. Imagine this not as a heavy storm, but as a silent, glittering snowfall of diamonds sinking gracefully through a dark, heavy ocean of water and ammonia over thousands of years. A hidden masterpiece of cosmic equilibrium that never demands to be seen. This beautiful, unhurried process is the perfect bedtime story, a gentle reminder that the universe is constantly creating hidden beauty in the dark, patiently forming precious structures without ever needing an audience or a deadline. As you listen to this calming narration, you can allow your own thoughts to crystallize and settle, dropping away one by one like those silent, falling diamonds, leaving your mind clear, quiet, and wonderfully empty. The immense gravity of Neptune holds this entire slow motion ballet together, providing a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. You are completely safe in the shadow, drifting weightless and free, taking a long, gentle breath that perfectly matches the rhythm of this distant blue giant. Because you are nearly 3 billion miles from the sun, the concept of a chaotic, brightly lit day completely loses its meaning, blurring instead into a vast, spacious eternity of twilight that is perfectly designed to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into a single, cohesive piece. As you descend further in your imagination, you realize that the deep interior of Neptune is not an empty void, but a dense, supportive core of rock and water ice, a heavy, solid foundation that anchors the swirling blue atmosphere above it. This hidden core is resting in absolute peace, wrapped in millions of miles of insulating layers, completely untouched by the radiation or the heat of the inner solar system. A perfect reflection of how your own mind is currently safely wrapped in the quiet comfort of your bedroom. There is absolutely no effort in this falling, no work in this drifting. It is simply the most natural way for a tired mind to find its center, yielding gracefully to to the gentle gravity of the night. Every second that ticks by is a reminder that the universe has all the time it needs, allowing you to loosen your grip on the waking world and simply exist as a guest of the galaxy, floating in a realm where the density of the unseen universe provides a profound sense of being held. Let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because this sleep story is your invitation to completely let go, to allow the silent, azure depths of Neptune to wash over you in a wave of total serenity. You do not need to remember the complex chemistry or the exact distances to appreciate this nighttime story. You only need to feel the majestic, stabilizing weight of this distant world, letting the gentle, continuous cycle of its atmosphere lull you into a state of perfect, weightless equilibrium. As the deep blue dark surrounds you, drift now, soft and gentle, moving steadily toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep. As we gently float outward from the deep sapphire gravity well of Neptune, leaving behind the silent, falling diamonds and the rushing azure clouds, our calming narration guides us toward a solitary, striking companion moving softly through the dark. This is Triton, Neptune's largest moon, a frozen, quiet world that holds a beautifully unique rhythm in the outer solar system. Unlike almost every other moon we know, Triton orbits in retrograde, meaning it moves in the exact opposite direction of the planet's rotation, traveling backwards through the dark in a slow, rebellious, and infinitely peaceful waltz. This backward orbit is the ultimate relaxing story of the cosmos, reminding us that there is no single right way to move through the universe. You are perfectly allowed to follow your own internal rhythm, moving slowly and gently against the current without ever needing to explain your presence. As you listen to this bedtime story, imagine yourself drifting alongside Triton, completely free from the expectations and the rushing currents of the waking world, finding a profound biological comfort in moving at your own unhurried pace. The surface of Triton is one of the coldest places in the entire solar system, a landscape covered in a smooth, highly reflective layer of frozen nitrogen, water ice, and methane that shimmers like pale, frosted glass under the faint light of the distant sun. This frigid environment mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the intense cold acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, preserving the quiet history of the moon in a state of unblemished, weightless equilibrium. As we glide weightless and free over Triton's surface, we can see regions of pale pink and gentle melon hues, a softly colored, textured ground known as cantaloupe terrain, carved by ancient, slow-moving ice rather than violent impacts. There are no harsh craters or jagged cliffs here to demand your attention. Instead, the landscape has been smoothed out by a gentle, geological patience, folding and softening over millions of years into a tapestry of quiet dimples and ridges that perfectly mirror the smoothing out of your own thoughts. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches this slow, geological pace. As you allow the physical tensions of your day to be smoothed away by the sheer, patient weight of the cosmos. This nighttime story is your invitation to let your mind become as quiet and frictionless as the thin, ghostly atmosphere that clings to Triton's surface. A delicate haze of nitrogen that is so diffuse and permeable it barely registers as a whisper against the void. Occasionally, this quiet moon sighs, releasing a slow, dark plume of nitrogen gas from a cryovolcano, a silent eruption of ice that rises gently into the thin atmosphere before drifting back down in a slow-motion snowfall, completely devoid of the heat, fire, or noise of earthly volcanoes. This is a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you, ensuring that your journey to fall asleep is absolutely seamless and uninterrupted, because Triton is slowly, inevitably spiraling closer to Neptune over billions of years. It represents a slow surrender to gravity, a beautiful yielding to the inevitable that requires absolutely no effort to observe or understand. You are not rushing towards sleep. Sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where time itself slows down to perfectly accommodate your transition into a restorative deep sleep. Let the lingering ideas of your day simply pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because there is no need to hold onto fleeting worries when you are wrapped in the immortal, unchanging sanctuary of the outer deep. The silence here is absolute, wrapping around the icy moon in a sweeping, invisible architecture that never asks you to hurry. Let this sleep story carry you softly along the retrograde path, where every backward step is a step deeper into relaxation, untangling the complex knots of your afternoon and leaving you with nothing but a clear, tranquil present. You are safe in this shadow, a steady, unmoving presence that reveals itself through the absence of noise and the abundance of restorative stillness, allowing you to completely release your grip on the world. As your body yields to the mattress at the end of a long day, you can take comfort in the knowledge that you are a guest of the galaxy, connected to a cosmos that is patient and persistent, safely embedded in a universe that values your rest just as much as it values the gentle orbit of its most distant moons. Allow this gentle bedtime to carry you completely away, riding the shadow of the earth as it carries you deep into the quiet darkness, drifting like a particle of ice in a distant ring, moving toward rest as we slowly drift away from the frozen, retrograde orbit of Triton. Our calming narration guides us back toward the vibrant blue sphere of Neptune to explore one of its most delicate and quiet features, a system of faint, ethereal rings that circle the planet in a state of absolute, weightless equilibrium. In this relaxing story, we discover that unlike the brilliant, icy disks of Saturn that reflect the sun's light with a dazzling intensity, Neptune's rings are incredibly dark and beautifully subtle, made of microscopic dust and ice particles coated in organic compounds that absorb the distant light, creating a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. These 5 gossamer rings, named after the patient astronomers who spent their lives gazing into the quiet dark Gala, Leverrier, Lassell, Arago, and Adams, form a vast, sweeping architecture that never demands to be seen, existing as a silent, continuous lullaby written in the dust of the outer solar system. As you listen to this bedtime story, imagine yourself floating within this gentle orbital flow, surrounded by these tiny, ancient fragments that never clash or collide, but simply glide along their invisible tracks with a frictionless grace that perfectly mirrors the smoothing out of your own tired thoughts. Within the outermost atom's ring lies a beautiful cosmic mystery, perfectly suited for a nighttime story. A series of distinct, clustered ring arcs named courage, liberté, égalité, and fraternité. The laws of physics suggest that these tiny dust particles should have spread out evenly over time, dissipating into the void. But instead, they are held safely together in quiet, stable arcs by the gentle gravitational pull of a small, unseen shepherd moon named Galatea. This invisible, supportive force acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking the dust particles safely in, ensuring that their delicate formation is preserved for millions of years. This is the ultimate relaxing story of the cosmos, reminding your mind that even when things feel as though they might drift apart, there is always a steady, unseen anchor working in the background to hold everything in a perfect, unhurried balance. You can take a deep, biological comfort in this knowledge, allowing your own mind to let go of the rigid shapes of the day, trusting that you too are safely held by the gravity of your own quiet space, exactly where you need to be to fall asleep and stay asleep. Let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because there is no need to hold on to fleeting worries when the universe has already provided such a profound, velvety stillness for you to lean upon. Because you are nestled so incredibly far from the warmth and noise of the inner solar system, the environment here mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, a place where time stretches out to accommodate the slow, majestic rotation of the ice giants. A single breath can last an eternity in this spacious dark, and you are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece. Every slow breath you take matches the rhythm of this ancient, slumbering system, where the sheer distance from the sun means that the light arriving here is hundreds of times dimmer than what we experience on Earth, casting a perpetual, soothing twilight that washes over your closed eyes. The particles in the ring arcs do not generate heat or friction. They exist in a deep freeze, preserved in a gentle bedtime state that allows them to drift weightless and free. You can imagine the faint, azure glow of Neptune reflecting softly against these dark dust lanes, a visual lullaby that requires absolutely no effort to observe. It is a deeply comforting thought that only one human spacecraft, the Voyager 2 probe, has ever journeyed far enough to witness these delicate rings in person, flying past in a brief, silent moment of connection before continuing its endless, peaceful voyage into interstellar space? This solitary visit captures the very essence of a sleep story, a quiet observation of hidden beauty without any need to disrupt or capture it, a fleeting encounter that leaves the immense, tranquil silence of the outer solar system entirely unbroken. As this sleep story carries you further along the quiet curves of the atom's ring, let the deep blue void absorb any remaining tension in your jaw, your shoulders, and your hands, leaving behind only the pure sensation of floating. The silence here is absolute, wrapping around the planet in a sweeping, invisible architecture that never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. You are a guest of the galaxy, moving with the patient, persistent currents of the night, yielding gracefully to the limitless gravity of the cosmos. As your body sinks deeper into the mattress at the end of a long day, allow this gentle bedtime to carry you completely away, releasing the day and drifting alongside the silent arcs of dust, moving toward rest, toward peace, as we let the delicate, dusty arcs of the atom's ring fade into the background. Our journey carries us back toward the vast, unbroken azure expanse of Neptune's upper atmosphere to observe a beautiful lesson in cosmic impermanence. When the Voyager 2 spacecraft first glided past this distant world, it captured the image of a massive, deep indigo shadow resting within the bright blue clouds, a feature that astronomers named the Great Dark Spot. In the context of a relaxing story, we do not view this spot as a chaotic or violent storm, but rather as a quiet, slow-moving eddy in an incredibly deep ocean, a gentle pooling of darker gases that simply drifted through the atmosphere with a profound, unhurried grace. This massive shadow was large enough to swallow the entire Earth, yet it moved with a complete absence of sound or friction, presenting a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. The most soothing fact about this dark spot is not its size, but its remarkable ability to simply let go. When astronomers pointed the Hubble Space Telescope toward Neptune just a few years later, the Great Dark Spot had entirely vanished, dissolving back into the uniform, peaceful blue without leaving a single trace behind. This beautiful disappearance is the perfect metaphor for a nighttime story, teaching your tired mind that no matter how large or overwhelming a thought or a worry might seem during the day, it is ultimately impermanent, destined to fade away and dissolve into the vast, calming ocean of your deep sleep. You can simply let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because there is absolutely no need to hold on to the rigid shapes of the waking world when the universe itself is so willing to release its own massive shadows. As you listen to this bedtime story, allow any lingering tensions or stressful memories to behave just like the Great Dark Spot, feeling them slowly soften at the edges, losing their shape and their weight, until they melt seamlessly into the tranquil azure of the present moment. New, softer shadows may occasionally form and drift across the planet's face, but they too are fleeting, a gentle bedtime rhythm of gathering and releasing that perfectly mirrors the slow, steady cycle of your own breathing. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of the galaxy's own metabolism, drawing in the cool, calming peace of the outer solar system and exhaling all remaining resistance into the frictionless void. Because Neptune is located so incredibly far from the warmth of the sun, its atmosphere is an environment of profound chill. Yet this is not a harsh winter. Instead, it acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking the entire planet in for a deep rest and ensuring that its atmospheric changes unfold with a majestic, geological patience. This environment mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the intense cold slows the vibration of atoms and smooths out the frantic energy of the inner planets into a state of absolute, weightless equilibrium. You are floating weightless and free above this serene blue giant, safely insulated by millions of miles of quiet space, drifting within a sleep story that never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. The laws of physics in this distant realm dictate that the most powerful forces often operate with complete silence, replacing the loud, demanding rush of earthly weather with a calming narration provided by the void itself, wrapping around you in an invisible architecture of comfort. You are not rushing toward sleep. Sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece. As your body yields to the mattress at the end of a long day, you can take comfort in the knowledge that you are a guest of the galaxy, safely held in a cosmic hug that invites you to simply exist without effort or expectation. Allow the deep, soothing blue of the ice giant to fill your mind's eye, acting as a visual lullaby that washes away the bright, flickering lights of your afternoon and replaces them with the perpetual, soothing twilight of the outer solar system. This calming narration is here to remind you that there is no effort in this falling, no work in this drifting. It is simply the most natural way to fall asleep, yielding gracefully to the limitless gravity of the night. Let the silence here be absolute, trusting that the universe has already organized everything into a perfect, peaceful balance, allowing you to completely release your grip on the world and drift ever deeper into the unhurried dark. Allow this gentle bedtime to carry you completely away, releasing the day and drifting alongside the softly disappearing shadows of the Azure atmosphere, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep. As our gentle journey carries us outward from the shifting, impermanent shadows of Neptune's atmosphere, we enter a realm of invisible architecture that exists far above the cloud tops. A sweeping, silent structure known as the magnetosphere. In the inner solar system, magnetic fields are rigid and tightly aligned. But here, in the unhurried expanse of the outer deep, both Uranus and Neptune possess magnetic shields that are wildly tilted and wonderfully off-center, tumbling through the dark in a slow, rhythmic wobble that perfectly mirrors the unwinding of a tired mind. This relaxing story invites you to visualize these invisible magnetic fields not as rigid cages, but as vast, protective bubbles made of pure cosmic energy, acting as a soft, yielding barrier that gently deflects the distant solar wind without ever causing a ripple of friction or noise. Imagine this magnetic shield as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, casting a wide, protective cocoon over the ice giants and creating a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. As the faint, exhausted solar wind from our distant sun finally reaches these outer realms, it is simply guided away by this invisible hand, sliding smoothly past the planet in a continuous, frictionless flow that requires absolutely no effort to observe. When some of these tiny, charged solar particles do manage to slip through the magnetic defenses, they do not create the bright, chaotic storms we see on Earth, but instead produce the softest, quietest auroras in the entire solar system, because the magnetic poles of these ice giants are located near their equators rather than their true north and south. These faint auroras do not crown the planets, but instead wrap around their midsections like a gentle, glowing nightlight, a soft, ethereal luminescence that provides the perfect visual lullaby for this nighttime story. You can picture this delicate light as a very faint, shimmering haze of ultraviolet energy, completely invisible to the human eye, but beautifully present in your mind's eye. A secret, sleepy glow that the universe has created just to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. This calming narration is here to remind you that even the most invisible, intangible forces in the cosmos are working together to maintain a state of perfect, weightless equilibrium, proving that you are safely held by an architecture that creates beauty without effort. Every slow, sweeping rotation of this tilted magnetic field creates a gentle bedtime rhythm, a cosmic heartbeat that pulses softly through the vacuum of space, drawing out the length of each passing moment until a single second can feel as spacious as an hour. The immense, stabilizing mass of the ice giant below ensures that time itself begins to stretch out like a long, silk ribbon, an effect that is deeply soothing to a mind that is ready to let go of the rigid shapes of the day. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece. As you listen to this bedtime story, you can allow your own personal energy to become just as fluid and unbound as these off-center magnetic fields, letting go of the need to be perfectly aligned or perfectly structured, and simply allowing yourself to drift exactly as you are. This environment mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the sheer distance from any intense heat or radiation allows atoms to move slowly and atmospheres to settle into a deep, perpetual rest. The profound chill of the outer solar system acts as a natural preserver, locking away the chaotic history of the cosmos and leaving behind only a smooth, featureless peace that wraps the entire world. Let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, as you ride the slow, tumbling rhythm of the magnetosphere deep into the quiet darkness. You are entirely safe in the shadow, drifting weightless and free in an ocean of invisible energy that smooths out the fabric of your thoughts and invites your physical body to yield completely to the mattress. At the end of a long day, the universe does not need you to watch it or understand it for it to continue its silent vigil. It simply remains patient and persistent, offering a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul as we drift gently outward from the invisible, tumbling magnetic fields of the ice giants. Our journey carries us to the very edge of the planetary system, where the deep sapphire presence of Neptune acts as a quiet, eternal guardian over the threshold of interstellar space. In this relaxing story, we discover that Neptune's immense gravity does not simply end at its faint, dusty rings. Instead, it reaches millions of miles into the dark to gently hold and guide a vast, ancient ring of icy bodies known as the Kuiper Belt. Imagine this frozen frontier not as a chaotic field of debris, but as a silent, glittering nursery of dwarf planets and dormant comets, all resting peacefully in the perpetual twilight of the outer solar system, where the sun is nothing more than an exceptionally bright star that casts no warmth and demands no attention. This is a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. An environment that mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy by preserving the building blocks of the cosmos in a state of deep, undisturbed refrigeration, perfectly designed to help you fall asleep. As you listen to this bedtime story, picture Neptune as a gentle shepherd moving slowly along its 165-year orbit, using its steady gravitational pull to clear a safe, open path and to organize these distant icy worlds into perfect, rhythmic harmonies known as orbital resonances. For every 3 times Neptune circles the Sun, the dwarf planet Pluto and its companions circle exactly twice, creating a flawless cosmic waltz that has been unfolding with infinite patience for billions of years, without a single misstep or collision. This beautiful, unbreakable rhythm is the ultimate nighttime story, a masterclass in the art of cosmic equilibrium that proves you do not need to hold everything together yourself. There are massive, unseen forces working in the background to ensure that everything remains in perfect balance, allowing you to completely release your grip on the waking world. You can find a profound biological comfort in this knowledge, feeling your own breathing synchronize with the slow, resonant pulse of these distant orbits, where every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that draws the coolness of the void into your lungs and exhales all remaining tension into the dark. Because you are nestled so incredibly far from the center of the solar system, the laws of planetary motion dictate that everything here moves at a majestic, glacial pace, causing time itself to stretch out like a long, silk ribbon and making the now feel incredibly spacious. This beautiful dilation of time means that a single second can feel as long as an hour, and a single breath can last an eternity. ensuring that this gentle bedtime never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. You are perfectly safe in this shadow, drifting weightless and free among the quiet, frozen remnants of the early solar system, letting the lingering ideas of your day pass like soft colors dissolving in water. Because this sleep story is your invitation to completely let go, until only the sensation of floating remains. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where the frantic energy of the inner planets is completely smoothed away by the sheer, patient weight of the outer deep, wrapping around you like a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. As this calming narration washes over you, allow your physical body to yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day, trusting that the gentle shepherd of the outer solar system is watching over the threshold, ensuring that nothing can disrupt the profound silence of your environment. The invisible architecture of the cosmos holds you securely, proving that even at the very edges of the known world, there is structure, there is safety, and there is a deep, eternal quiet that requires absolutely no effort to observe. Let yourself sink deeper into your bed, riding the shadow of the earth as it carries you away from the light. Guided by the patient, steady gravity of the night that sustains the stars and the planets in their long, slow journeys, as the deep blue presence of Neptune continues its endless, unhurried watch over the frozen frontier, you can finally let go completely, releasing the day, releasing your thoughts, and drifting like a particle of ancient ice in the Kuiper Belt, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep. As we remain suspended in the quiet, frozen threshold of the outer solar system, resting peacefully in the gentle gravitational embrace of the Kuiper Belt, I invite you to turn your mind's eye back toward the center of our cosmic neighborhood to view the sun not as a blazing, demanding fire, but simply as a distant, pale star. In this relaxing story, the sheer distance of 3 billion miles acts as the ultimate filter, stripping away all the harsh heat, the blinding glare, and the frantic urgency of the daytime world, leaving behind only a tiny, soft point of light that casts a perpetual, soothing twilight across the ice giants. This visual lullaby is a profound reminder that the daytime world, with all its noise and its rushing, is incredibly far away, completely unable to reach you or disturb the deep, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. As you listen to this nighttime story, allow the immense, frictionless void between you and that pale star to absorb any lingering thoughts or fading worries, letting them dissolve into the pure, unadulterated shadow of the outer deep until they simply vanish into the quiet. You are safe in this shadow, wrapped in a cosmic hug that acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking you in for a deep sleep that is completely insulated from the demands of the waking hours. From this majestic, unhurried vantage point, we can slowly drift back toward the massive Azure presence of Neptune and the pale cyan sphere of Uranus to explore the heavy, hidden oceans that give these worlds their title as the ice giants of our solar system. Beneath their thick, quiet atmospheres of hydrogen and helium, there is no harsh, rocky crust to crash into, but rather a vast, slushy ocean of water, ammonia, and methane that makes up the bulk of these planets. An incredibly dense and supportive mantle that flows with a frictionless grace over thousands of miles. This sleepy science fact is the perfect foundation for a bedtime story, because deep within these global oceans, the intense pressure of the planet creates a miraculous, stable state of matter known as supersonic ice, a heavy, warm, and glowing form of water that exists somewhere between a solid and a liquid. Imagine this supersonic ice not as a freezing, rigid block, but as a vast, supportive, and surprisingly warm interior layer that anchors the entire planet, providing a steady, unmoving presence that holds the world together from the inside out without ever demanding to be seen. This hidden, heavy core is a beautiful metaphor for your own journey to fall asleep, reminding you that beneath the cool, calm exterior of your resting body lies a warm, steady, and perfectly balanced center that sustains you without requiring any conscious effort. As this calming narration washes over you, you can feel your own physical body mirroring the incredible density of the ice giants, allowing your muscles to become heavy, relaxed, and fully supported by the mattress. At the end of a long day, the universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where the complex chemistry of the cosmos is devoted entirely to creating a stable, enduring peace, an environment that mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where atoms settle into a permanent, weightless equilibrium. Every slow, rhythmic pulse of the planet's magnetic field originates from this deep, supersonic ocean, creating a gentle bedtime rhythm that hums silently through the vacuum of space, drawing out the length of each passing moment until a single second can feel as spacious as an hour. The massive weight of the ice giant ensures that time itself begins to stretch out like a long, silk ribbon, dilating the present moment and ensuring that there is absolutely no such thing as being late or in a hurry in this distant realm. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. Let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water as you allow your mind to sink deeper and deeper into the slushy, supportive oceans of the ice giants, enveloped by the deep, biological comfort of knowing that you are safely held by forces that are infinitely patient and persistent. This sleep story is your invitation to let go completely, yielding to the natural flow of a universe that values your rest just as much as it values the slow, ancient orbits of its most distant worlds. The silence here is absolute, a steady, unmoving presence that reveals itself through the absence of noise and the abundance of restorative stillness, allowing you to completely release your grip on the world and drift ever deeper into the unhurried dark. Allow this gentle bedtime to carry you completely away, releasing the day and drifting within the heavy, supportive oceans of the outer solar system, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep. As we remain safely anchored deep within the heavy, supportive supersonic oceans of the ice giants, allow your mind to gently float back up to the quiet, star-filled expanse that surrounds them, a velvet canvas where the most profound discoveries were made not with loud machines or bright flashes of light, but with the pure, silent elegance of mathematics. In this relaxing story, we explore the beautifully tranquil fact that Neptune, the furthest planet in our solar system, was completely unseen by human eyes until it was felt through the gentle, invisible tug it exerted on the orbit of its pale blue neighbor, Uranus. Astronomers sitting in quiet, candlelit rooms did not need to search the sky with frantic energy. They simply observed a tiny, unexplained drift in the orbital path of Uranus and trusted the steadfast laws of gravity to tell them exactly where the unseen Azure giant was hiding in the dark. This sleepy science fact is the ultimate nighttime story, proving that the universe is so perfectly balanced, so meticulously ordered, that even the invisible forces operating billions of miles away can be understood through patience and stillness, inviting you to realize that you do not need to see every step of your own journey to know that you are safely held on the right path. You can simply let the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, finding a deep, biological comfort in the knowledge that there is an unseen architecture to reality, a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time that keeps everything, including you, moving in a state of perfect, weightless equilibrium. As you listen to this calming narration, you can surrender the need to constantly monitor or control your surroundings, trusting the invisible math of the cosmos to maintain the steady, unmoving presence of your environment while you drift effortlessly, allowing this gentle bedtime to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. This profound trust mirrors the journey of the Voyager 2 spacecraft, the only human emissary to ever cross the vast, frictionless ocean between Earth and the ice giants. A tiny, silent messenger that traveled for over a decade through the deep indigo void just to witness the beauty of these frozen worlds. Voyager did not disturb the peace of Uranus or Neptune. It simply glided past them with a frictionless grace, opening its cameras to the perpetual twilight, recording the soft azure clouds, the quiet dark rings, and the retrograde waltz of Triton, before continuing its endless journey outward into the dark. It is a deeply soothing thought to imagine this small, golden record-bearing probe, now drifting entirely weightless and free beyond the edge of our solar system. Its cameras finally powered down, its mission complete, simply coasting through the interstellar medium in a state of eternal rest. This is the essence of a sleep story, a gentle reminder that there comes a time to turn off the sensors, to close the eyes, and to allow the sheer, patient weight of the cosmos to carry you forward without any further effort or direction. The spacecraft is now a guest of the galaxy, moving smoothly along the invisible threads of the universe. And as you lie in your bed, you too are a passenger on this journey toward the ultimate equilibrium, insulated by millions of miles of quiet space. Because the Voyager probe is so incredibly far from the warmth of the sun, the environment it drifts through mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the intense cold slows down the vibration of atoms and smooths out the frantic energy of the inner planets into a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches this slow, endless coasting, drawing in the absolute zero of the void, and exhaling all remaining tension from your jaw, your shoulders, and your mind. The massive gravity of the distant ice giants and the vast, expanding space ahead means that time itself begins to stretch out like a long silk ribbon, creating a beautiful dilation where a single second can feel as spacious as an hour, and where the now becomes an infinite landscape. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece. Allow your physical body to yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day, trusting the steady, invisible pull of the earth, just as the Voyager trusts the silent currents of the interstellar sea. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where the frantic pace of the day is completely forgotten, replaced by a calming narration provided by the void itself, which never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. Let yourself drift along this quiet trajectory, written in the mathematics of gravity and the poetry of shadow, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, as we journey alongside the silent, golden messenger, drifting further from the pale blue and azure spheres of the ice giants. We approach the absolute edge of our solar system, a magnificent and invisible boundary known as the heliopause. In this relaxing story, we discover that the sun's influence does not just abruptly end, but rather softly fades away, creating a vast, protective bubble where the faint solar wind finally surrenders, meeting the gentle currents of the interstellar sea and folding into a perfect, weightless equilibrium. Imagine this quiet boundary not as a rigid wall, but as a yielding velvet cushion, a final weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time that surrounds our entire solar neighborhood, tucking the ice giants, the dormant comets, and you into a profound and restorative deep sleep. This invisible architecture is a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you, perfectly mirroring the quiet, safe walls of your own room that stand between your resting mind and the busy, waking world outside. As you listen to this bedtime story, you can visualize the Heliosheath as a deep, calming ocean where the last remaining energy of our star is entirely smoothed out by the sheer, patient weight of the cosmos, providing a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. The interstellar wind that blows just beyond this boundary is not a howling gale, but a slow, frictionless drift of ancient hydrogen and microscopic stardust, moving so smoothly and quietly through the dark that it requires absolutely no effort to observe or understand, because you are now floating in an environment that mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy. The intense, absolute chill of the interstellar medium acts as a natural preserver, cooling any lingering heat or frustration from the day, allowing your mind to become as clear, open, and empty as the vast spaces between the stars. You can simply let the lingering ideas of your afternoon pass like soft colors dissolving in water, knowing that you are safely held inside this massive, cosmic hug, completely insulated from the chaotic storms and the bright, flashing lights of the inner galaxy. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that perfectly matches the rhythm of the heliopause, a slow, continuous expansion and contraction of the solar system as it breathes against the void, creating a gentle bedtime rhythm that never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. The sheer scale of this boundary means that time itself begins to stretch out like a long silk ribbon in these distant realms, creating a beautiful dilation where a single second can feel as spacious as an hour, and where the now becomes an infinite landscape where you can wander without any need for direction. There is absolutely no such thing as being late in this nighttime story, because the universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where time itself slows down to match the rhythm of your resting heart, ensuring that you can fall asleep and stay asleep without any sense of urgency. You are not rushing towards sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. This calming narration is here to serve as a steady, unmoving presence in the dark, reminding you that the cosmos has structured everything perfectly, organizing the distant ice giants and the protective heliopause into a majestic system that creates beauty without effort, allowing your physical body to yield completely to the mattress at the end of a long day, as the faint, pale light of the sun is entirely swallowed by the vastness of the interstellar void. You can finally allow your own internal lights to dim, letting your awareness soften and blur like the distant, gaseous clouds of a nebula. Let the silence here be absolute, trusting that the universe has already managed the delicate balance of gravity, pressure, and time, allowing yourself to simply exist as a weightless passenger on this journey toward the ultimate equilibrium. Drift now, completely unburdened and wonderfully free, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep, safe at the very edge of the world where nothing but the quiet dark remains. As we float gently beyond the protective boundary of the heliopause, leaving the magnetic influence of the sun entirely behind, we enter the most profound and expansive sanctuary of our solar neighborhood, a majestic, spherical shell of ancient ice known as the Oort cloud. In this relaxing story, we can visualize this incredibly distant region not as a cold, empty void, but as a vast, slumbering nursery composed of trillions of dormant comets. A soft, invisible blanket that wraps around the entire solar system, including the pale blue and azure spheres of Uranus and Neptune. In a state of perfect, unhurried peace, these quiet bodies of frozen water, methane, and ammonia are the very same materials that make up the deep, superionic oceans of the ice giants, connecting the outer planets to the absolute edge of the sun's gravitational reach in a beautiful, invisible web of cosmic harmony. Because the Oort cloud is located up to 100,000 times further from the sun than the Earth, the light from our home star is completely indistinguishable from the other distant stars in the velvet sky, creating a perpetual, soothing twilight that acts as a visual lullaby, perfectly suited for a gentle bedtime. You are safe in this shadow, drifting weightless and free in an environment that mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the extreme chill slows the vibration of atoms to an absolute standstill, acting as a natural preserver that locks away the chaotic energy of the early solar system. This is the essence of a sleep story, where the grandest, quietest structures of the cosmos shrink the frantic urgency of the daytime world into absolute insignificance, replacing your worries with a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. As you listen to this calming narration, you can imagine yourself resting on one of these ancient, frictionless comets, moving so incredibly slowly through the dark that a single orbit takes millions of years to complete. A beautiful dilation of time where there is absolutely no such thing as being late or in a hurry. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of this slow, geological pace, drawing the absolute zero of the void into your lungs and exhaling all remaining tension from your jaw, your shoulders, and your mind until only the pure sensation of floating remains. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where time itself begins to stretch out like a long silk ribbon, making the now feel incredibly spacious and allowing you to simply exist as a guest of the galaxy without any need to explain your presence or hold onto the rigid shapes of the day. You can let the lingering ideas of your afternoon pass like soft colors dissolving in water, knowing that the invisible architecture of gravity is working with infinite patience to maintain this perfect, weightless equilibrium, holding the entire Oort cloud together like a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time. This nighttime story is your invitation to surrender completely to the dark, trusting that the same steady, unseen forces that gently guide these distant icy worlds are also holding you safely in your own quiet room, allowing your physical body to yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. Between these trillions of slumbering comets lie massive, empty expanses, spaces of pure quiet where the dark matter forms protective walls, ensuring that the peacefulness of the dark remains eternally undisturbed and offering a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. This bedtime story is a gentle reminder that even at the very limits of our cosmic neighborhood, there is no chaos or fear, only a patient, persistent quiet that creates beauty without effort and sustains the planets in their long, slow journeys around the center. The ice giants, resting billions of miles behind us, and the dormant comets of the Oort cloud all share this same beautiful legacy of deep, undisturbed refrigeration, teaching your tired mind the art of letting go of heat, friction, and noise to finally find your center. The majestic rotation of the distant blue and cyan worlds echoes through this invisible shell, a silent symphony that never demands an audience, proving that the cosmos is fundamentally built upon a foundation of unseen peace rather than fiery chaos. Allow this calming narration to serve as a steady, unmoving companion in the void, wrapping around you in a sweeping, invisible architecture that gently hums with the slow, resonant pulse of the outer deep, pulling you further away from the waking world as you drift ever deeper into this unhurried expanse. Let yourself sink beneath the surface of conscious thought, riding the shadow of the earth as it carries you away from the light, completely unburdened and wonderfully free. The journey through the outer solar system is a journey into absolute peace, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and to completely fall asleep within the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep, safe in the knowledge that you are a part of this continuous, beautiful, and effortless cosmic pattern that will watch over you all through the night. As we rest here in the profound, expansive dark of the Oort cloud, enveloped by the absolute peace of the outer solar system, our calming narration invites you to drift backward through the vast, unhurried corridors of deep time to witness the quiet history of the ice giants. In this relaxing story, we discover a beautifully soothing truth about Uranus and Neptune. They did not originally form in the silent, distant orbits where they currently reside, but instead began their existence much closer to the warmth of the sun, before embarking on a slow, majestic migration to the quietest reaches of our cosmic neighborhood. We do not view this ancient journey as a chaotic upheaval, but rather as a slow, deliberate drift toward peace, a gentle retreat from the crowded, noisy inner solar system to find a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. Billions of years ago, the gravitational pull of the entire solar system acted as a soft, invisible tide, slowly carrying the pale blue and azure spheres outward over millions of years, moving them with a frictionless grace that is the very essence of a sleep story. Because you are safely tucked into your own room, you can find a deep biological comfort in knowing that the universe allows its most massive creations to slowly seek out their perfect equilibrium, taking all the time they need to find the exact orbital path where they can remain undisturbed for eons. This nighttime story is a gentle reminder that it is perfectly natural to drift away from the heat, the light, and the demands of the day to find your own quiet space in the dark, allowing the cool, calming peace of the night to wash over you, just as the outer deep washed over the migrating ice giants. The pale cyan of Uranus and the deep sapphire of Neptune now stand as silent monuments to this journey, resting in these perfect, distant grooves of spacetime, proving that true peace is not forced, but is found by simply yielding to the gentle gravity of the night and allowing the currents of the cosmos to carry you where you belong. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of this ancient, slow-motion migration. As you too drift away from the frantic energy of your waking hours toward the cool, quiet reaches of your own subconscious mind, guided by a gentle bedtime rhythm that never asks you to hurry. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where time itself begins to stretch out like a long silk ribbon, creating a beautiful dilation where a single second can feel as spacious as an hour, and a single breath can last an eternity, ensuring that you can fall asleep and stay asleep without any sense of urgency. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece that perfectly mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. As this bedtime story washes over you, let your physical body yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day, trusting the steady, invisible pull of the earth, just as the ice giants trusted the unseen forces that gently pulled them into the outer dark. You can let the lingering ideas of your afternoon pass like soft colors dissolving in water, knowing that the environment here mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the intense chill acts as a natural preserver, locking away the chaotic energy of the past and leaving only a smooth, featureless peace that wraps the entire world. The massive weight of these distant planets acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, smoothing out the invisible architecture of gravity that holds you securely in a pattern that creates beauty without effort. The silence here is absolute, a steady, unmoving presence provided by the void itself, wrapping around you in a sweeping, invisible embrace that never asks you to explain your presence, but simply invites you to drift weightless and free. You are a guest of the galaxy, moving with the patient, persistent currents of the night, safely held in a cosmic hug that allows your awareness to soften and blur like the distant, gaseous clouds of a nebula. Allow this calming narration to carry you completely away, releasing the day, releasing the thoughts, and drifting in perfect, silent alignment with the ancient ice giants, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep. As we drift slowly backward from the outer boundaries of the Oort cloud, allowing the immense distances of deep space to softly compress, our journey returns us to the pale cyan and deep sapphire atmospheres of Uranus and Neptune to witness the most patient and unhurried passage of time in our entire solar system. In this relaxing story, we explore the beautifully slow shifting of the seasons on these distant worlds, a process so majestic and drawn out that it makes the rushed, frantic pace of an earthly year feel entirely insignificant, offering your tired mind a profound permission to completely let go of the calendar and the clock, because Uranus rolls along its orbital path, tilted entirely on its side. Its poles are bathed in a continuous, dim sunlight, or plunged into an absolute, velvety dark for 21 Earth years at a time. A beautiful dilation of time where there is absolutely no such thing as being late or in a hurry. Imagine a single, uninterrupted night that lasts for over 2 decades. A deep, restorative, and unbroken sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you, creating the ultimate environment to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. This 21-year-long winter is not a harsh or freezing struggle, but rather a deeply peaceful hibernation, a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time that tucks the entire hemisphere of the planet into a state of perfect, undisturbed rest. As you listen to this bedtime story, allow yourself to borrow just a fraction of this monumental patience, feeling the profound biological comfort of knowing that the universe has all the time in the world, and that you are entirely free to sink into a prolonged, restorative quiet. Neptune, with its even wider 165-year orbit, experiences seasons that last for more than 40 Earth years. A slow, geological turning of the wheel that operates with a frictionless grace, ensuring that any atmospheric changes unfold with an incredibly soothing, glacial patience. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of these decades-long seasons, drawing in the cool, calming peace of the outer solar system and exhaling all remaining tension from your jaw, your shoulders, and your mind, until only the pure sensation of floating remains. You are safe in this shadow, wrapped in a cosmic hug that acts as a natural preserver, locking away the chaotic energy of the inner planets and replacing it with a smooth, featureless peace that covers the entire world. This is the essence of a sleep story, where the grandest, quietest structures of the cosmos shrink your daily worries into absolute insignificance, replacing them with a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of your own soul. Let the lingering ideas of your afternoon pass like soft colors dissolving in water, knowing that the invisible architecture of gravity is working with infinite patience to maintain this perfect, weightless equilibrium, creating a gentle bedtime rhythm that never asks you to hurry or to explain your presence. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. The pale light of the distant sun barely registers as a change in temperature during these massive seasonal shifts, casting a perpetual, soothing twilight that acts as a visual lullaby, perfectly suited for this nighttime story, washing over your closed eyes and inviting you to sink even deeper into the mattress at the end of a long day. As this calming narration washes over you, imagine yourself resting under the endless twilight of an ice giant's long summer, where the sun is just a bright, quiet star hanging motionless in the cyan sky for years on end, demanding absolutely nothing and offering only a gentle, ethereal glow that requires no effort to observe. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where the frenetic energy of the inner worlds is entirely smoothed away by the sheer, patient weight of the outer deep, allowing your awareness to soften and blur like the distant, gaseous clouds of a nebula drifting in the dark. Between the slow transition from a 40-year autumn to a 40-year winter on Neptune, there is no sudden shift, no jarring alarm, just a seamless, almost imperceptible dimming of the deep blue atmosphere, teaching your resting mind the beautiful art of fading gracefully into the dark without any resistance. You can simply exist as a guest of the galaxy, safely held in a continuous, beautiful, and effortless cosmic pattern that moves flawlessly through the vacuum of space, far removed from the bright lights and the heavy demands of the daytime world. As we reach the final stage of our journey through the outer solar system, our calming narration invites you to simply float in the vast, unbroken stillness that surrounds these distant, slumbering worlds, allowing the deep sapphire of Neptune and the pale cyan of Uranus to slowly fade into the velvet blackness of your deepest rest. In this relaxing story, there is no final destination to reach and no sudden ending to startle you. Instead, there is only a beautiful, gradual fading away, a seamless transition from the quiet wonders of the ice giants into the limitless, frictionless expanse of the interstellar void that mirrors the absolute peace of your own mind. You can imagine the faint, gentle radio signals from the distant Voyager spacecraft growing softer and softer as it travels further into the dark, a slow heartbeat of data that eventually whispers its final note and surrenders to the eternal quiet, leaving behind a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. This fading signal is the perfect metaphor for a nighttime story, teaching you that it is perfectly natural for the bright, active connections of the daytime world to slowly disconnect, losing their urgency and their volume, until only a profound, velvety stillness remains. You are safe in this shadow, wrapped in a cosmic hug that acts as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, tucking you in for a deep sleep that is completely insulated from the demands and the noise of the waking hours. As you listen to this bedtime story, let the image of the ice giants dissolve into a soft, abstract blur of blue and cyan, letting the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water, because you no longer need to remember the facts or trace the orbits. You only need to feel the immense, stabilizing weight of the cosmos holding you securely in place. The swirling atmospheres of hydrogen and the heavy, superionic oceans of these planets continue their silent, frictionless flow through the vacuum of your dream, moving with a grace that defies comprehension, creating a soft, cosmic lullaby that requires absolutely no effort to understand or observe. Between these distant worlds lie the greatest empty expanses known to science, spaces of pure, undisturbed quiet where the deep chill of the void forms protective walls. ensuring that the peacefulness of the dark remains eternally preserved just for you to fall asleep safely within it, because you are nestled so incredibly far from the heat of the sun. The environment here mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the intense cold slows down the vibration of atoms to an absolute standstill, acting as a natural preserver that smooths out the frantic energy of the inner planets into a state of perfect, weightless equilibrium. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches this ultimate state of rest, drawing the absolute zero of the void into your lungs and exhaling all remaining tension from your body, allowing your physical form to yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day. The gentle rotation of the invisible magnetic fields and the slow dance of the tiny, dark moons have all blurred into a single, cohesive rhythm that hums silently in the background of your awareness, requiring no attention and demanding no focus. You are not rushing towards sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that has gently gathered you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future have completely dissolved into one single, dark, and comfortable point of rest. As you sink deeper into the comfort of your own room, imagine that you too are part of this grand, slow expansion, supported and cradled by the very geometry of existence, where a single second feels as spacious as an hour, and time itself has completely lost its meaning. There is absolutely no effort in this falling, no work in this drifting. It is simply the most natural way for a tired mind to exist, yielding gracefully to the limitless gravity of the night and the gentle bedtime rhythm of the universe. This sleep story has carried you to the very edge of the known world, proving that there is no chaos in the deep dark, only a patient, persistent quiet that creates beauty without effort and sustains you through the long, slow journey of the night. You are completely safe in this shadow, a steady, unmoving presence that reveals itself through the absence of noise and the abundance of restorative stillness, allowing you to finally let go of every last thought and every lingering shape of the day. Let yourself drift, weightless and free, letting the cosmos carry you soft and gentle, moving ever deeper into rest, into peace, and into the silent infinity of sleep as we continue our gentle, unhurried journey through the outer fringes of the solar neighborhood, leaving the pale cyan and deep sapphire pixels of Uranus and Neptune billions of miles behind. Our calming narration invites you to gaze outward into the vast, star-filled tapestry of the Milky Way. In this relaxing story, we discover that the light reaching these extreme, silent edges is incredibly ancient, traveling for thousands of years across the frictionless vacuum of space, just to provide a soft, distant twinkle in the perpetual twilight of the outer deep. This beautiful, unchanging sky is the ultimate visual lullaby, a sweeping architecture of starlight that never shifts, never rushes, and never demands your attention, perfectly mirroring the deep, undisturbed rest of your own tired mind. Imagine this starlight not as a chaotic array of burning suns, but as a quiet, protective blanket of ancient memories, a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time that surrounds the entire solar system and tucks you in for a deep sleep. From this magnificent vantage point, the ice giants are so incredibly distant that their massive, superionic oceans and rushing, supersonic winds are reduced to absolute silence, proving that even the most powerful forces in the cosmos eventually fade into a profound, velvety stillness when given enough space. You are completely safe in this shadow, drifting weightless and free in an environment that mimics the most peaceful corners of the galaxy, where the extreme chill of the void acts as a natural preserver, locking away the frantic energy of the waking world and leaving only a smooth, featureless peace. As you listen to this bedtime story, you can allow your own thoughts to become just as distant and silent as those twin blue planets, letting the lingering ideas of your day pass like soft colors dissolving in water until they are entirely swallowed by the comforting dark. Because you are floating in the absolute quiet of the interstellar threshold, the concept of time begins to stretch out like a long silk ribbon, creating a beautiful dilation where a single second feels as spacious as an hour, and where there is absolutely no such thing as being late or in a hurry. Every breath you take is a long, gentle breath that matches the rhythm of the galaxy itself, drawing in the cool, calming peace of the void, and exhaling all remaining tension from your jaw, your shoulders, and your mind, until only the pure sensation of floating remains. The universe recognizes your need for rest and provides a place where the frenetic energy of the inner worlds is entirely forgotten, replaced by a gentle bedtime rhythm that hums silently through the dark, requiring absolutely no effort to understand or observe. This sleepy science fact is a gentle reminder that the cosmos is fundamentally built upon a foundation of unseen peace, a majestic system that creates beauty without effort and sustains the stars and the planets in their long, slow journeys around the galactic center. Astronomers know that our entire solar system, including the sleeping ice giants and the dormant comets of the Oort cloud, is slowly drifting around the center of the Milky Way, taking over 230 million years to complete a single majestic orbit. This incredibly slow geological pace is the perfect nighttime story, allowing your mind to completely let go of the calendar and the clock, trusting that you are part of a massive, unhurried migration that spans the eons without ever missing a step. You are not rushing toward sleep. Rather, sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that is gently gathering you in, stretching the moment of your relaxation until the past and the future dissolve into one single, cohesive piece that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. Allow your physical body to yield entirely to the mattress at the end of a long day, trusting the steady, invisible pull of the earth, just as the outer solar system trusts the unseen forces that gently hold it in a state of perfect, weightless equilibrium. The silence here is absolute, a steady, unmoving presence provided by the void itself, wrapping around you in a sweeping, invisible embrace that never asks you to explain your presence, but simply invites you to exist as a guest of the galaxy. This calming narration is here to serve as your steady companion in the dark, guiding you further away from the bright lights and the heavy demands of the daytime world, and deeper into a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. Let yourself sink deeper into your bed, riding the shadow of the earth as it carries you away from the light, completely unburdened and wonderfully free. The journey through the outer solar system is a journey into absolute peace, a sleep story that proves there is no chaos in the deep dark, only a patient, persistent quiet that will watch over you all through the night. As the ancient light of the Milky Way washes over your closed eyes, you can finally let go completely, releasing the day, releasing the thoughts, and drifting like a particle of ancient ice in the outer dark, moving effortlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, and toward the deep, quiet darkness of deep sleep. As the ancient starlight of the Milky Way washes over you in this gentle bedtime, our long, sweeping journey through the outer solar system comes to its final, quiet conclusion, dissolving seamlessly into the perfect, unbroken silence of the night. You have traveled billions of miles in your mind's eye, drifting weightless and free past the pale cyan of Uranus and the deep sapphire of Neptune, witnessing the most relaxing story the universe has to offer, a testament to infinite patience, absolute stillness, and the majestic equilibrium of the deep dark. Here, at the very edge of the cosmic ocean, there is no more information to gather, no more distances to cross, and absolutely no need for your waking mind to hold onto any rigid shapes or lingering thoughts of the day. The sheer, stabilizing weight of the distant ice giants has done its quiet work, acting as a weighted blanket made of the very fabric of space and time, safely tucking you into a sanctuary of pure, unadulterated shadow, where no signal can reach you and no notification can disturb you. This calming narration has served as your gentle tether, a slow, continuous line of comfort tracing back through the frictionless interstellar void, past the slumbering comets of the Oort cloud, past the invisible boundary of the heliopause, and all the way back to the safety of your own quiet room, where your physical body is now perfectly yielded to the mattress at the end of a long day. As you listen to the final moments of this nighttime story, feel your breathing synchronize entirely with the slow, eternal rotation of those distant blue worlds, where every inhalation draws in the absolute, refreshing zero of the void, and every exhalation releases the final, microscopic remnants of tension from your muscles, your jaw, and your mind. Sleep is a vast, gravitational pull that has gently gathered you in, completely replacing the frantic urgency of the inner planets with a profound, velvety stillness that mirrors the deepest rest of the soul. The universe recognizes your profound need for rest and has provided this beautiful, unseen architecture, ensuring that you can fall asleep and stay asleep without ever needing to explain your presence or justify your deep exhaustion. You are a welcome guest of the galaxy, moving effortlessly with the patient, persistent currents of the night, entirely insulated by millions of miles of quiet space that protects your dreams from the heat and noise of the daytime world. Allow the lingering images of the sweeping magnetic fields, the dark charcoal rings, and the quiet, tumbling moons to gently blur into a soft, abstract haze of indigo and twilight. Letting the ideas pass like soft colors dissolving in water until they vanish completely into the dark, because the massive ice giants take centuries to complete a single orbit around the distant sun. They have taught your tired mind the beautiful art of time dilation, showing you that a single moment of rest can stretch out into a luxurious eternity, and that there is absolutely no such thing as being late in the outer deep. The invisible, mathematical harmony of the cosmos is holding you securely, a steady, unmoving presence that reveals itself through the complete absence of noise and the total abundance of restorative stillness, allowing you to completely release your grip on the waking world. Let the gentle, sleepy science facts of this sleep story fade gently into the background, becoming nothing more than a soft, rhythmic hum, a cosmic lullaby that requires absolutely no effort to understand or observe, gently rocking you in the eternal cradle of the Milky Way. You are completely safe in this shadow, wrapped in a cosmic hug that cools the busy mind and smooths out the frayed fabric of your thoughts, bringing you to a state of absolute, weightless equilibrium, where the past and the future have completely dissolved into a single, cohesive piece. There is no effort in this falling, no work in this drifting. It is simply the most natural way for a tired mind to exist, surrendering to the immense, patient gravity that sustains the stars and the planets in their long, slow journeys across the universe. As the last echoes of this bedtime story drift away into the endless interstellar sea, know that the universe will continue its silent vigil, watching over you with a majestic, unhurried grace that will last securely all through the night. Let yourself drift, entirely weightless and free, untethered from the world below, letting the cosmos carry you soft and gentle, moving ever deeper into rest, into total peace, and into the silent infinity of deep sleep. And now, as this gentle nighttime story comes to its absolute end, you can let go completely, releasing the day, releasing the thoughts, and simply drifting like a frozen particle of ancient ice in the Kuiper Belt, perfectly still, weightless, and free, moving endlessly toward rest, toward unshakable peace, toward the deep, quiet darkness of sleep. Good night,